G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the northwest side of the map, we've got Beastie Cutie, who is playing as the Delhi Sultanate. This is a civilization we've casted Beastie playing many a time before, and I'm incredibly excited to see what he's going to be bringing up today against his enemy, because he's going up against the one and only. It is the Viper. And Viper on the Mongols, going to be looking impressive this game. He is got a relatively, it's not a terrible spawn, over kind of close to the town center here. He's going to be able to drop these pastures right about here. Should be able to get them straight over to the town center, those little sheep, so it won't have too many issues. Now, this is going to be quite an interesting matchup, I will say, because we have two civilizations that Beastie considers the Delhi to be an S tier civilization. That means the best. In a lot of the scenarios that you put them in, pretty much on any map, they are a good pick. There's a couple of maps that, you know, they're not particularly strong at, or there are better options, but typically they are very good on pretty much all maps, including this map, which of course is Highview. So I watched Beastie's stream for a little bit, and he actually played a fair bit on Highview and was picking Delhi there. So he is comfortable with this civilization on this map. Going into the Mongols, though, it is, I mean, typically on a map like this, you would probably expect your enemy is going to be picking out the Delhi, the Rus, the French, the Mongols, all popular civs on this map. Maybe even the Abbasid dynasty as well could come out here as well. So Viper going for the Mongols here. I'm curious to see what his opening is going to be, because typically we've seen players look to play aggressive up against the Delhi, try and hamper their early game a bit, but Viper going to be dropping down a pasture. Doesn't look like he's particularly intent on putting out too much aggression in the early stages of the game. You can see the Khan going to be moving across the map at this point in time, but obviously has a bit of difficulty with scouting just because of all the stealth forests that are here. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with why these two guys are playing up against each other, these guys are preparing for Golden League. Golden League is happening this weekend, a $125,000 Age of Empires 4 tournament, and it's going to be taking its time. When I say it's going to be taking its time, I think it's scheduled to begin this weekend, the main event, but the actual event will what is that? It's part of the relic, but it looks like little gold bags or something. But it is scheduled to go for about 2 months, so there's going to be so much content coming out of that. I'm going to be doing casted games from that. I'll also be casting for EGC TV as well, who is hosting the Golden League. So if you want to check that one out, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can follow EGC TV, maybe even get notifications from them as to when they go live. But we'll check out Viper now. We'll see exactly what he's up to. And one of the other things I would just like to mention is I am casting a lot of games between these two players at the moment. I will just say that there are games that I'm not casting. So games that, as an example, I didn't think you guys would want to watch. So let me know if you would want to watch them, but I'll give you an example. A Rus Mirror on Highview. Would you be interested in watching that? Yeah, probably not. Me either. Now, Beastie won that game. I'm pretty confident Beastie won that game. But this game here, I'm not too sure who wins this one. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to see. Because they are playing this one live right now. So they are quite literally battling it out. But yeah, I took a bit of a break, and I came back and I saw, they're playing a Rus Mirror on Highview. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to bother watching that. I'm not particularly a fan of that matchup after all the Boulder Bay games that I witnessed. But we'll check on Beastie now. We'll see what he's up to. He's going to be leaving a little bit of a space in between his town center and his Dome of the Faith. I'm always very OCD about my Delhi base building. It's one of the civs that's a bit more difficult to base build with, just because of the way that the mosque extends out its Wi-Fi. So I always like to leave a gap for farms, but one of the things I feel is like I never really make farms with the Delhi, just because you're on berries for so much of the game, and it's like, well, you go from berries and then you move to the next berry patch, you move out to the deer, and then like when you finally exhausted everything, it's like you're probably just like gonna make mills in the back of your base or something anyway. I don't know. I just never feel like I do it. I should probably stop doing that, because I think about it way too much. But already you can see the upgrades coming through for him. Going to be picking up Wheelbarrow here, almost hitting that age up as well, looking to get Piety. Already got efficient production in, obviously got his forestry upgrade in. And over on Viper's side, what's the Vip up to? The Vippy, he's moved his pastures actually away from the town center, so these guys were next to the town center. So he's pulled them back a bit. Going to be going up with the deer stones. No surprises there. Still just, you know, doing his thing, scouting out around the map. You can see how much of the map is kind of like just blacked out because of the classic way that scouting happens on this map. It's just very difficult, but He's going to manage to find a couple sheep in the back of his base. We'll check in on Beastie. We'll see what he's up to. Going to have a whole bunch of upgrades coming through here. Horticulture probably going to be coming through. There it is. Horticulture coming through. Lumber preservation. Was that lumber preservation? No, that's double broadaxe, Drongo. You dickhead. And then, of course, specialized pick coming through. Dropping a blacksmith on the front line. And quite a bit of food that he's stacking up at the moment. No barracks getting dropped down for him. So obviously, at this point, blacksmith coming down as well. He's scouting out his enemy. He's seeing exactly what he's up to. He spots the Uvu. He sees that there's nothing of interest on the Uvu. What is he looking for here? A barracks, a stable, an archery range. That's what he's looking for. Something to give an indication as to what he's actually going to be doing. And he doesn't find anything. So that basically just says to Beastie, hey, you just continue doing your game plan this game. You know, you're probably going to want to take sacred sites, and you can see that here. So he's researching Sanctity. Now, this map, of course, being high view, the sacred sites are placed a little bit differently from most maps. Normally, you would have a sacred site in the middle, and then you would have a sacred site over here that's also in the middle, but down towards the south, and then a sacred site up here in the north that's still towards the middle. That is not the case on this map. You've got one safe sacred site, and then you've got one enemy sacred site that is also safe for them. So it makes it a little bit harder for Delhi to actually secure up their 3 sacred sites, which they like to do. So we'll see how Beastie approaches it. We see him dropping down a barracks, already looking to get these upgrades. So going for the ranged armor and ranged attack first, going to be the most common thing. You actually see the Falcon getting shot off there. Falling back, he's yet to train any spears. Going to be bringing those bad boys out now. Archery range drop down on the other side of the base. Everything is kept within the network as well, so he's still got the Wi-Fi going. He's getting a great deal on that Wi-Fi. Scout out on the map, not going to be finding too much. We'll check in with the Viper, see what he's up to, and ladies and gentlemen, we've got some Mangudai coming out. Mangudai seem to be taking over at this high level. At least this is what players are experimenting in, and it's actually a very efficient way to play the game. I was watching part of Viper's stream. Now, don't judge me, okay? I was on Twitter, and Viper tweeted, hey, I'm going live, and he linked his Facebook, and it was like facebook.gg/the Viper, I think it was. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to click it. And then I went to type something in the chat box, and it came up with my real name, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I like that. But one of the things he mentioned was that he felt that there was a really good synergy with the Mangudai and the Fast Castle, because you know, when you're going fast castle, typically you're going to be making pastures, okay? Because you're not doing a lot of early aggression, so you're making pastures. That's giving you a fair bit of food. You can see the amount of sheep he's got just sitting here right now. He's got 4 and 3. So he's got plenty of food under his town center. And as the Mangudai cost a lot of food, and so food can become a real issue for you if you're a Mongol player and you don't have pastures. But obviously having pastures means that you've got plenty of food to have, and now you can see that Beastie going to be, you know, losing out a couple of villages over here. First villager going to be going down, second villager going down. He's walling up over towards this position. 8 minutes is the marker that he's going for, and probably going to be able to capture that sacred site, but at the same time, oh, no. Oh, this is a huge mistake coming through for Beastie. So a little bit of a misplay here. He actually stands off the sacred site. I'm not sure exactly what the intent was there, because I'm sure you guys did hear that the bell actually rang, that the sacred site was being captured. Now we've got Viper that moves over here with his mobility. Obviously, Mangudai on the back of a horse, they move extra fast, 1.62 movement speed. Khan, same as those guys, and also it has the maneuver arrow. Now, keep in mind, he's also going to be able to drop down outpost, which is what he's got going here, and gets to buff that up to 1.87. So if he wants to run around, he's really going to be able to be quite annoying. And now Beastie going to be forced back into his base. Beastie still yet to grab a sacred site, still really yet to build up a mass. And could Mangudai actually be the answer to Delhi? Have players found the answer to Delhi? Is this it? Was the Mangudai tech hiding there all along, and we never knew just because of how powerful the Mongols were? And now all of a sudden, coming out of the woodwork, people are like, wait, Mongols are actually bad. And then people are like, oh no, they've got Mangudai, don't worry, they're actually good. So if you've watched Beastie Cutie's tier list video, he put the Mongols in B tier, I think it was. So he had Delhi and Abbasid S tier. In A tier, he had the Holy Roman Empire, and then in B tier he put Mongols and France, if I remember correctly. I might be doing him wrong, so apologies if I've got it wrong. But I mean, in this situation, you can see Mongols doing very well, performing quite well with the Mangudai, and it's so easy to transition into a castle age from this, because from here, like, all Viper needs to do is just add more villagers onto gold. Like, that's it. You can see he's got right now, it says 6 villagers on gold. There's only 1. Okay, now these guys are moving out there. So if he wants to go to castle, like, he just moves like another 4 or 5 villagers out over here. He'll be up to the castle age in probably the next 2.5 minutes. But you can see he's out here guarding the sacred site. This wall never was completed, so he's just chilling out there for now, and now trying to move out towards this position. I suspect he's probably just going to be looking for the Scholar, and then look to focus up down, but so much damage actually coming out from these units. So Mangudai actually doing a lot of work here. Now going to be able to chase these down, but obviously knows that the enemy army is probably going to be sneaking around that corner, and indeed it is. Beastie Cutie now looking to come out and, you know, put his foot down out towards this this position. Now, one of the things to note is that because Beastie didn't actually capture this sacred site, he doesn't have a gold trickle. And his gold mine's on the front, so that's kind of been isolated. Villager line under attack. No walls coming up from Beastie Cutie at this point in time either, so he can't really stop these raids from coming in. It's definitely feeling not particularly good for Beastie Cutie right now. And, you know, the villagers inside the town center, sure, they fire off their arrows nice and quick, but at the same time, they're not gathering. And you can see Viper's just doing a little bit of runaround right now. He's like he's like he's in the car, just doing a bit of a drive-by, just, you know, brr, brr, brr. It sounds like he's got a villager printer out, but not really the case. And continuing to extend that mosque Wi-Fi, continuing to extend that outpost YAM network up here now, looking to bring it out over to the western flank as well. Obviously, the closer he can bring it to that sacred site, the better. I wouldn't be surprised if he rushes over here at lightning speed and actually just comes in and tries to snipe out that Scholar. Keep in mind the range on that Mangudai isn't quite high. So they've got 3.5 tiles of range. Compare that to the Horse Archer, which has got 5. And then goes up to 6 in Imperial. That's not a lot of range. I think there might be a tech that increases the range though. Hold on. Okay, Mangudai goes up to 4.5 range. Actually goes up. Oh no, that's range damage of the Mangudai, and then increases the range. But now we got ourselves a little bit of a scuffle back towards the base. Viper gonna be going up to the next age. It's going to be the step redoubt that he's going up with. Probably going to drop down a market as well if he hasn't already. Wants to start getting that trading in. Now going to be going into double stable, so not going to be sticking with the Mangudai tech. Going to be moving into a more cavalry-based composition. Back over on Beastie Cutie's side, you can see how many villagers he's got on gold. He knows he needs to get up to the next stage. And Viper probably should be pressuring this a little bit more, just doing run-bys maybe on this angle, on that angle. But now Beastie trying to push in, but obviously realizes that this is a bit of a difficult spot. And look at the composition for Beastie. 25 archers, 2 spearmen. This can end really badly for Beastie because Viper's actually gone into double stable here. No stables down on the Uvu, so it means that he's not going to be able to get, you know, super crazy amounts of stable units out quickly. But he obviously is focusing on that, which means that if he gets out 2, 4, even 6 lancers, it could be GG. I was gonna say gid, like good game, GG. But sorry, that was weird. But now it looks like Beastie Cutie going to try and make it up towards that next stage. Does he have a market himself? It doesn't look like it. So he's going to be having to mine everything the hard way. Mangudai coming over towards this position. Khan actually doing a little bit of a fail right there, triggering off the attack alarm of his enemy. So Beastie Cutie gets the notification that the Khan runs past because the Khan attacks the wall. So a bit frustrating that you can't turn off that auto attack from the Khan, but at the same time, you know, it happens. It happens. Beastie now looking to try and chase that away. House of Learning going to be coming down on the front. A lot of villagers still on this gold. There's no way he's going to be able to contest his sacred site in the middle. Just a beautiful display coming through from Viper here. Beastie now with a lot of upgrades as well, so you can see that his blacksmith are slowly but steadily working towards their final upgrade. So it looks like his spears have got everything but the +1 damage, I think. No, plus 1 armor. +1 melee armor yet to come through. But now Beastie Cutie up towards the north, going to be under attack. That spear going to have to fall back. Mangudai breaking through. Looks like he's got veteran Mangudai doing a beautiful job here as well. Those archers just teeing off towards the Mangudai. They have made the wrong call in coming that way. But I see an archer mass like this, and I think Mangonel. That's my first thought. But I guess at the top level, going up against someone like Beastie Cutie, playing a Mangonel, oh, bit of a raid down here as well. Like, going into a Mangonel, sure, like, it sounds good in theory, but when Beastie splits his archers like he's playing StarCraft, it kind of like, it's like, do you really want to make a Mangonel against Beastie Cutie? It's pretty scary. But now, speaking of scary, look at this army coming through for Viper. He is looking to really apply some pressure to the front. Beautiful House of Learning. Looks very Indian, I will say that much. It's just got a very Indian theme to it. I don't know why I'm noticing that right now, but you can see the way that he's microing on the front. Look at the spears trying to get some damage in. Not going to be successful there. He's just kept Beastie Cutie off the sacred sites, and now we see that the outposts have got Springwood emplacements up. I can hear relics being picked up somewhere. They're somewhere around here. Up towards the north. 1, 2, 3, 4 relics, and that was the 5th relic. So no relics yet picked up from Beastie Cutie at this point in time. Obviously got plenty of his own religious units here, but he just sits very happily in his base, chilling out for now. He's going to be holding on, but at the same time, look at the mass that's starting to build up here. 6 Lancers now coming out for Viper, and this is a deadly composition. We actually saw Mangudai Lancer composition. I can't remember what civilization it was up against, but it was a composition that was very happily used. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I think it was a feudal age composition that was used. It might have been. But now Lancer's going to be heading in towards the base. Viper going to be just completely rampaging through his enemy's base. And now Beastie Cutie going to be trying to defend here. You can see all the units, and Beastie Cutie just taps out. I don't know what's happened. Did Beastie disconnect? Did he just say the game is over? I think he's just lost too many things. Is that it? I've got no clue. Anyway, fellas, I'll leave a link in the description. Check out Golden Link. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the custard. What